minutes to wrap up.
30 seconds.
30 seconds, sorry, to wrap up. Just because we all get to those situations sometimes in meetings when we're supposed to talk for 5 minutes, and then the people before us run over, and so we have to kind of squeeze and finish. So it forces us to finish on time. And then one other thing that you've probably noticed that we haven't mentioned is we do some handshaking up here. And that's to take control of the meeting and return it back. So when I call someone's name, I will wait here for you and shake your hand, at which point the floor is yours. Whenever you're ready to start speaking, that's when the time starts. Whenever you're ready to start speaking, that's when you start speaking. If you need a little bit to collect your thoughts and swallow and breathe, that's fine. And then when you're done, you're going to turn back towards me. I'll just kind of be hanging out to the side of the room. You're going to turn towards me and put your arm out. And that will be a signal to me that you're done speaking, and I'll come out and take control back. So as a demonstration of that, we will go into our first table topic question. We talked about how writing is a form of communication, but it can also be an art form. And it can take on different forms, direction of writing, the characters that you use, the styles that are used. Is there a particular language or style of writing that you find particularly appealing or fascinating or interesting? Mr. Bruno Diesel.
Thank you so much, Martin. And thank you for reminding me of the techniques that we can use up here. Use the good old politician move to say, I'm going to sidestep that question about what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is that writing is really a combination of two skills. One is, what is up here? What do you have to say? What insight do you want to communicate? And the second part is having the skill of getting that on the paper in a way that's clear, concise, and communicates what is in your brain, all these great thoughts that are in your brain, actually on the paper. I think actually it's, I'm highly impressed when I see great writing. It's, I don't know, I just feel like it's something that, it's an understated skill, and actually it's pretty similar to speaking. Speaking is the same thing. You know a lot about a topic, and you come here to Toastmasters to learn how to get out in a clear way, in a confident way, and it's the same thing. So it's combining with what your thoughts are in your head. How do I get it out there with people? And it's no different than writing. One, you put it on paper, and one, you get it out there. So that's what I think about writing.
What an elegant way to sidestep my question. Our second question relates to writing as a form of note-taking. So note-taking is a very popular way to write down information. What are your thoughts on note-taking? Do you prefer to use a laptop, computer, pen, paper, pencil? Weston?
Thank you, Mr. Tabletop Master. And this is probably payback for not attending a meeting in about a month and a half.
Just a little.
How do I prefer to take my notes? It's usually in outline form. Nowadays it's in Word or Excel. I'll usually just put in an outline, the main title in the middle, the top of the page in the middle, and then just the main topics off to the left. And that's all I'm going to say about the way I take notes. But talking about writing, what you guys didn't know about me is I'm actually a published writer. I made a magazine entry in middle school. And this was about bathroom safety. The reason why I bring this up is because an email came to me yesterday about bathroom etiquette and things like that. My entry was about bathroom safety in middle school. How I grew up in a rough city where there's a lot of gang activities and things like that, especially back when I was in middle school and high school. And going to the bathroom was probably one of the scariest things to do because you're confronted, there's people smoking cigarettes and drugs in there, and you really don't have a safe place to go to the bathroom. We always try to, I don't know, you no matter how bad you have to go, it's like one of the functions of life that you have to do or else you have a really embarrassing accident. The email that came to me yesterday was about work bathroom etiquette and how those same stresses still apply today about the courtesy flushes, and it's a little bit different than safety, but like the courtesy flushes or the vulnerability of someone trying to get into your stall and things like that. But that's about it.
You never know where these answers are going to go. So writing as a form of communication. What type of, or what form of communication do you prefer to use with your friends, with your family? Michelle.
Oh, you.
I want the other Michelle.
Oh, the other there's two.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Other Michelle.
Well, in this new age of technology, everyone likes to text. So I prefer texting. And pretty much every day, my friends and I have a group text. At times it can get annoying because there's 3 of us in the group, and oftentimes they're just talking to each other. I work Monday through Friday, and they're both off on Mondays, so they're talking about, hey, I'm going to come over and pick you up. What time will we be ready? So my phone's just going off all day long. I'm just looking like, are they going to stop talking? Like, just stop. But that's just what we do all day long. And we also like to, even with imitations, we also send them via text message, but that can also be annoying with a group text because at times that can turn into just side talking. Well, oh, what time does it start again? Are you coming for sure? And your phones continue to go off more and more, and then the battery just continues to die. So you have to walk around carrying a charger with you all the time, or else that would be pretty bad if you really need your phone and your phone is dead, which I have come across that once before. So I've learned to carry a charger and a car charger also. I have one at my desk because of all this, and yeah, I prefer text. And also with work via IM, if it's more of a casual conversation, I prefer to have an IM versus a email or a phone conversation. Sometimes phone conversations are a lot quicker, but I still prefer the texting.
And also welcome back after your many months of absence. We may not all be great writers, but we do enjoy great writing. What is your favorite piece of writing and why? Other Michelle.
I just started reading the Game of Thrones novels, and so far that's been my favorite piece of writing. It's actually quite similar to the TV shows, and it does have a lot of detail, so it can be a bit difficult to follow just because there are so many characters, and each chapter it's about a different character. And yeah, it's very interesting because I've watched the whole series up until this end of the previous one, and I'll go back and read a chapter and then watch the episode from the past just to see how similar it is, and you get a better idea, you pick up on the subtle nuances of what's going on in the book. And yeah, that's another one of my friends has recommended the Game of Thrones to me, and after watching it, yeah, I also read The Lord of the Rings, and I kind of like watching the TV movies with that as well. Thanks.
Thanks. I know that was a bit of a surprise to get called on twice. So we may not all be great writers, but sometimes we do have to write. What is the longest or most difficult thing that you have ever written? Hamilton.
Thank you. So the most difficult thing that I've had to write. Actually, so it's actually not the longest thing, but the hardest thing that I had to write was one word. And it was actually, this is going back to when my brother was in college, and he had just gotten a new bike, and he was going to USC, and he had gotten his previous bike stolen. And so he wanted a bike that really conveyed that you don't want to steal this bike. So we had just read this series of books about ninjas that could use magic. And one of the ninjas had a sword, and he named the sword Retribution. And so I have pretty decent handwriting, I like to think. And so he said, Hammy, can you write Retribution across the side of my bike for me? And it'll scare off anybody trying to steal my bike. So he painted his whole bike gray, and Retribution is a pretty long word. I mean, it's like 4 syllables, right? So the hard part about it, though, was having to write that long of a word in cursive on a curved bar is very difficult. So what ended up happening, though, is that I wrote it, it looked awesome, and I actually ended up wanting the bike. But what ended up happening to my brother was he had that bike for 2 months before it was stolen. And somebody ended up handing over it, I'm assuming, because he never found it again. So, yeah.
I think that's all the time we have today, so with that, I would like to invite back up our Toastmaster for the day, Miss Mary Jane Sahagan.
Oh, wow. Martin, that was a lot of fun. You guys did really well. And to our guests, great job. You made it look easy. I don't know about you, but my first table topic was like 15 seconds, and then I walked off. So kudos to all of you for making it to the green and putting aside Martin's questions and talking about what you really care about. So if this is a place you want to vent, come on in, walk through the door. At least we get you talking. Let's go ahead and move to our evaluations portion. This is where we get the feedback we need to become